What's up, guys? This is DexionTrading, and I'm basically having to do an entire voiceover of the work that I did before. Sorry, guys, I had my audio settings all messed up, but anyways, I'm going to begin documenting my trading journey here. This is Tuesday, September 9th, 2025, and we are starting out with the NASDAQ here. And just thanks everyone for joining the channel. And if you get some value out of this, please like and subscribe. My goals are to try to build a kingdom-focused work with believers and also, stewards of resources in order to build kingdom efforts and to distribute resources where God would lead us to distribute them. And so we need money for that. And a little bit of a background on me: I'm someone who used to be in sales. I currently do Uber and Lyft right now, and I also am into trading. Never really got super focused and serious about it until more recently. So I've kind of been a failing trader for about 10 years, but now I have the conviction needed and the discipline that I have painfully gained over the years to actually be successful. And yep, so we're going to get into it. Looks like right now what I'm doing is just going over the chart. And what I typically do is just liquidity concepts. And so I mark out highs and lows from sessions such as the Asian high low, a London high low. And I trade between 8 o'clock and 12:30. I usually do not trade outside of those times because the price just kind of waddles around at that time. Especially after 12:30, it's lunchtime. Nothing really happens too much. Hard to catch a trade. And you don't want to be caught in a trade before the end of the day at 5 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, so let's see. What am I doing here? And excuse me, guys, if I don't catch all the weird silence pauses going on, because I'm trying to dub over this whole thing. Okay, so it looks like right now I'm going to begin marking up my trades, and you'll see that in a moment here. And I just primarily focus on trading on the NASDAQ. This has the highest amount of liquidity out of the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. So moving forward, once you start trading in the markets for real, in the prop firm stage, you do not trade real. You trade basically simulated, and then Apex, which is the prop firm that I use, will eventually move you into the market if you continue to show success. All right, so let's see. Yeah, I'm probably going over my strategy. So it is to wait for a break of liquidity. Either that would be high or low of a recent session. And yes, I'm marking that out right now. And this is the Asian session low. So I'm marking the liquidity there. And what I also do is I'm going to set up an alert. So my trading view indicator can notify me on my phone or via sounds on my desktop in order to alert me that price has breached this area. I do not look at the chart all day. Honestly, I think that is suicide. If you want to try to look at a chart all day and chase candles and look at things, it just builds anxiety, it builds stress, it builds a mental confusion. You want to steer clear of all of that and just let price come to you. So you mark out these liquidity levels here. I just marked out the London session high. And yep, you'll see me doing that for probably the middle range as well, probably next, because there's a couple of touches. Let me see what I do here. Again, guys, just bear with me. This won't happen again, I promise. Yeah, and so I think, I was looking at price breaking through the low of London, which, was just a little bit to the left there. And I was mentioning the non-farm payrolls revision, which is something that doesn't usually happen. But That's it's a red letter event. It usually causes a lot of volatility, and that's happening at 10 o'clock Eastern. We're not there yet. So I'm looking for a trade to go into, marking out my levels, setting my alerts. And basically what I do is I will trade off of liquidity grabs. So I'll wait till price breaches an area and then reverses, leaving a fair value gap, which is a mandatory feature that I need to see. A premium fair value gap as well, not one that's too close to the printer. And then I wait for a retracement. I use an OTE level to enter into the trade and set the target at 1, and I'm out. It gives me a 2-to-1 reward risk, and target is going to be anything above 47% strike rate. So between 50 and 60%, which is typical for this kind of strategy if you do everything right. And over time, that will lead to profitability and success. You just have to keep that. I don't do partials. I don't add to positions. I don't take away. I don't move my stops. None of that stuff. All that does is just gives you more opportunity to screw something up. So, and also briefly mentioning that I am a believer in Jesus Christ. I believe that he died for our sins. I believe that he rose from the dead. And I believe that he is doing something new in the season coming, that we may have not seen before. So I am following a conviction on a calling that I have to be a tower for the saints, and to just provide value to the saints and to ministries over the world. A while ago I used to donate here and there with the spare money, but I think we're taking it to the next level here. So I'm praying for God's favor in this. I'm praying for the spirit of inconsistency to be vanquished in the name of Jesus. I'm praying for the spirit of anxiety and the spirit of impulsiveness to be vanquished in the name of Jesus, because those are the spirits that can really take you off course in this thing. So praying for a clear, focused head, for discipline to be at peak, for consistency to be at my peak, and to continue to grow and to continue to learn and to be humble during this process. All right, so let's see. I may have to skip ahead a little bit here. We'll see. Okay, so right here is where I'm going to begin my first trade of the day, and I'm noticing a small, you can call it a change of character, I guess, happening in the market. So if you look a little bit to the left, you can see price has breached that price pivot right there, that area of liquidity, and then it is now starting to reverse. There's a little bit of consolidation right before the reversal. And if you are on the 1-minute chart, I use the 5-minute or the 1-minute, and sometimes I use the 30-second. I know that sounds really, really high pressure, but it's really not. Well, at least not to me. So I don't know if you guys can see it, but there is a bit of a retracement here before price bottomed. And it's going to be hard to see that on any time frame above 1 minute. 1 minute is where all my magic happens. Disclaimer, I don't believe in magic or magicians or anything, just using it as a phrase. But that's where all the stuff happens for me. So yeah, I'm pointing that out right there. I'm zooming in so you can see that little peak right there. So that would be where structure can break to go in the opposite direction, as I just showed with that ruler right there. And I think in about a moment, I'm going to go over to my trade execution software, which is Wealth Charts on the Apex platform. Yet showing you guys here where it breached liquidity right there by like a tick or so, maybe 2 ticks, something like that. And price started to go bullish in the opposite direction. And so I just take out my Fibonacci and get my levels straightened out and everything. There's a fair value gap that I'm drawing out right there. Fair value gaps are necessary in order to validate trade opportunity. Can't do it without it. that indicates, some kind of momentum happening in the market. So, yeah, we're in about a moment. I can see it coming. Yeah, right here. So I go on wealth charts and I set up my Fibonacci to make sure price levels are matching. And the modifications, the indicators that I use on TradingView are just a contract size calculator, which I don't actually need because Wealth Charts does that. I use break of structure, change of character indicator, and also just a multi-trend line indicator to see the overall direction of the market. If you guys are interested in those, I can give you the exact names of them. So right now I'm setting up my trade execution on this trade idea. Everything is set, and I'm going to click that little blue button to actually give me the exact number of contracts needed in order to risk the amount of money that I want to risk. This one of the things that I love about wealth charts is so easy to execute a trade based on risk tolerance and calculation. So right now I'm opening this up to show you guys where it says account size. I use 2,500. Well, right now it's 2,100, but I use 2,500. And for risk, and where it says money in parentheses right there, I use 10% of the account size. Now, really quickly, I'm going to explain that because on Apex, you have account sizes starting at, I think it's, 50,000, 25,000, 100,000, 150, 200, 300. But that's not really your account size. Your account size is how much you can risk total before your trial account ends or your PA account ends. So for a 50K account, that's just 2,500. Okay, so you heard that sound. I do have trigger sounds on my trading platform that let me know once a trade has been active. So we're in the trade right now, and everything is set. Take profit is set. Stop loss is set. So in about a minute here, you're going to see me just go off and play Tomb Raider, the first Tomb Raider. That was the first PC game that I played way back in the 90s. I think my dad bought it for me, and he had like a Pentium 1. It was 90 megahertz. The thing was slow as molasses, but it played Tomb Raider, and that was a really nice game to play. It, got my mind moving. So yeah, once the trade is active, I don't do anything, man. I just go off and do something else because I don't want to watch the chart. I don't want to look at it to possibly start thinking I should take profit or whatever. All right, so if you guys can see now, trade idea was successful. I hit my profit target, so that's one trade down. And in a little while, the next setup is going to form. And I'll just cut it here and catch you on the next setup. All right, so price continued to go higher here, and now it's going towards this other area of liquidity where you'll see it in the video in a moment where price tapped into maybe 5 times. So that's a very good area of interest. And in a moment, you'll see me set up my second trade of the day, which was a fail. And the trade idea on this one was for price to breach that area of liquidity, but not breach the highest area, which would be the London extreme or the London high. So I'll wait to price breach that area, and then just target another 2R. So I'm going to fast forward it here. Yeah, you see I'm drawing it out right now for it to breach that peak there, come back down right below that level, do a retracement into a trade, then hit my target right there. All right, and we did come back, and that idea did not come to fruition because price never broke past that level. And so, I'm not chasing the price again. If it doesn't come to my targets, to me, it doesn't matter. It doesn't exist. The trade idea is invalid. I'm not gonna try to force a trade. So right now, what's happening is the price is breaching the Asian session low, as you can see there. I just zoomed out to show that. So I'm going to, in a minute, start marking out what I would like to see, which is basically just a consolidation and then a change of character going back up. So I'm kind of zooming out here to see what I would like to see here. And you can see that previous 15-minute low right there where the mouse pointer is. I would like to see a breach of that level and then a reverse back to the upside, marking a fair value gap in the process, and then taking a trade from there. Yeah, so you can see I'm kind of marking that out right now. Boom. And yeah, we would like to see that. Probably not going to see that whole thing play out because that's probably going to take at least another day or two. And I'm saying this in hindsight because I've seen the price afterwards. So, anyway, yeah, again, this is just a recording of my live trading earlier, but I did not select to record with my microphone. I selected to record with nothing. So I had no audio except for the Tomb Raider game, which doesn't really mean much. So, anyways, yeah, I'm just kind of going over, what price tends to do. It tends to, kind of hit the level on a retracement and then go back towards the original trend. And so I think I'm going to fast forward here to catch up to my next trade execution. So I'll see you guys in a minute. All right, so we'll just exit that for a second. So we're starting to see price move back up after breaching that area of liquidity. And it did break through the most recent pivot structure. So, that is a change of character in my book there. I'm drawing out the fair value gap, which is in a premium zone, which is great. So everything lines up. It looks good. I do make mention that there is another fair value gap that is closer to the printer. So that's not a fair value gap that I would like to see if there was not the first fair value gap that I just marked out. I probably would not take the trade. And here I'm just looking at the economic calendar for that event, the non-farm payroll revision, and I do believe it came out to be bad news. So I was kind of just waiting until something happened there before I got back into the market because I don't want to trade into news. It's just not a good idea. Most prop firms don't even allow you to do that. So I'm going to skip this part because I did a lot of kind of just looking for what I wanted to see. Okay, there we go. Didn't take too long. All right, so I think we can continue on here. All right, so we did fast forward here, and now what you're going to see me do is you're going to see me take out, my tools and everything. You're not supposed to see that. Yeah. Take out my tools and everything, and price is coming down to the at 50% level. So I go over on wealth charts and just move everything over to the new price structure. And I'm moving over the fibs, putting that at 100%, and moving over the trade execution tool. And then I set everything up, and kind of have to do this with, yeah, there you go. So I put the trade there before price kind of zoomed by us, because that happens a lot. It'll just zoom right by you and keep going. And you'll just be looking at your screen like, what the? So everything's marked out. I go back to playing Tomb Raider at this point. Once that trade executes, the take profit and the stop loss will automatically pop up on the chart. So there's no need for you to do anything else at this point. And And this trade did turn out to be a loss. All the rules were followed, and it just turned out to be a loss. So that's good. I like seeing losses when your rules are followed, because that means you did nothing wrong. You just have to remember that the market does not owe you anything. The market can give you 5 losses in a row, 6 losses in a row, 10 losses in a row, all while you were very strict and you followed your strategy. So you can see me just move up the take profit up to the end there, because the trade tool before was a little bit, it wasn't drawn up all the way out the end. And yet, back to what I was saying, that's the market, guys. So I did lose this trade here, and I did get one more win after this one. I'm actually just going to zoom ahead to that, because I just go back to playing Tomb Raider here. Okay, yep. So as you can see, price just completely shot through my stop loss there. And so that's a $250 loss. But I still am up 500, so we are up 250, which is honestly, if I can win one and lose one every day, I'll be happy. So right now I'm marking out what I want to see happen for my last trade. I only do 3 trades a day. I never do more than 3. That's my mental hard limit. I don't want to start fidgeting around and getting disheveled with multiple trade ideas and running that chance of missing and messing something up. So what I want to see here is a small consolidation followed by a dip down further into liquidity so that it can reverse, and then I can get my trade idea. If I see price just shoot up like that, I'm probably not going to want to take the trade, because most times when that happens, the retracement is shallow. It's like 30-40%, and you'll see me draw that out, yeah, like that, and then it just continues. So usually I miss those. What I want to see is the price kind of come just a little bit further than the break on the change of character or the market structure shift. And yeah, just set up my entries from there. So that did wind up happening, and I'm just going to fast forward to that right now. All right, so if you guys can see here, this was the final trade that I took in the day, highlighted right here. And this is what I was waiting for. I was waiting for a little consolidation, a stab below to pick up liquidity, change of character here, and then enter in here. And we were able to take profit on that. So let's just zoom out and see that a little bit better. And yeah, so that was pretty much it. Price continued to trend upwards. No need for me to continue to chase price. But my other strategy would be to wait for a break of structure, which would have been here, and then enter here on a 50% retracement and then take profit here. So let's see if that would have played out. And then I would start drawing my fibs from down there. Yep. So that would have played out too if I missed this trade in here. Would have just tagged me in and stop loss down here, take profit at the 0. That would have been great. And looks like that would have played out here as well. If I would have entered here with the next break of structure, which would be right here. My indicator marked it out already. And this one had a little bit more drawdown than the original one here, but you would have been able to get out at about 1 o'clock, which is great. And yeah, so this one would have gotten in right before lunchtime, so that's perfect. If it was, at 12:30 or later, I would have just deleted the order and canceled everything. So, and once again, guys, I'm sorry that the audio was not set properly during all my other footage. So I'm literally trying to dub over what I was doing. But just to look at the overall trading session for the day, we had 2 wins and 1 loss, and that gives us a 66.67% win percentage, which is great if you're targeting 2R. And we increased the account by $975, and that's all great. So here we are right here. You can see that total PNL 970 and 69 cents. So we're gonna be working the rest of the week out there Ubering and lifting, and try to make ends meet. So I'll probably see you guys next Tuesday for another trading session, and you guys can follow me live. And I'm really trying to see if I can start building something from this point forward that is very kingdom focused. I want to be able to build a group or do something to gather people in so that we can all become financial stewards and tap into God's will for us to send resources wherever, all over the world, if need be, to further missionary efforts or feeding whoever needs to be fed, etc., etc., taking care of widows, taking care of the poor people among us, because that's what the scriptures are saying, and we can't do that without money. So I'm really hoping God can bless me with my efforts here to build that up and just to start something. Wherever God takes it, let His will be done. And thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys probably next week. Peace.